Grand Rising, everybody. Um, Hello, how are you? Hope everything is well. Wherever and whenever you're seeing this broadcast, my name is Eric, coming out of Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm your financial strategist, bringing you financial education and information that is going to help you to get on the right track, right road to your financial freedom. So as you jump on, as you see this, do me a favor, go ahead and drop your city and state. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Like this video, share this video with your friends, with your family, with your neighbors, and also if you know somebody who is finding themselves in a position to where they may be struggling financially, definitely drop this video to them, and maybe they'll find some value in it. Also, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can simply click on the link that's in our description. Or if you see this video, make sure you subscribe so you'll know when we're live again. See the video. So thank you for jumping on once again. I am your financial strategist, coming to you with information and education that's going to help you to improve your personal finances and hopefully, get you on the right track and the right road to financial freedom. So topic this morning, guys, the topic this morning is, are you meeting your two financial objectives? Are you meeting your two financial objectives? What does that look like and what does it mean? Well, before we get started, the first thing you have to understand is there are a lot of people out there who are afraid to make the wrong financial decision. They have been taught things that are not accurate. Been taught things that is not true. And ultimately what we do, we find ourselves being guarded. And we're afraid to make any decisions. So any decisions that we make, any financial decisions that we make, we're so afraid to make them that we're going to make a mistake. But here's the problem. A lot of people have been making decisions based on what they were taught, not based on what they understand and what they know. So it's important and it's imperative to start to learn some of the things that we don't know. And that's the reason why I'm on this platform or these platforms. And that's the reason why I share as much information as I can share. Because nobody shared it with me and I wasn't looking for it. So in my teens, I was told to figure it out. That's what I was told in my teens, go to school, make good grades, get a good job. So in my teens, I was told to figure it out. In my 20s, I said, you know what? I got time to figure it out. In my 30s, I had a family and I was trying to figure it out. And in my 40s, I was still trying to figure it out. It wasn't until my late 40s or early 40s, my early 40s, I began to understand and I began to figure it out. So let's talk about these two objectives and are you meeting them? Whether you know it or not, everybody goes to work for two reasons and two reasons only. I don't care what people tell you. I don't care what they're making up out there. People are only going to work for two reasons and two reasons only. We live in a capitalistic society. Nothing is free, to include education. Now, information is free, but if you're going to get some education and learn how to properly apply that education, it is not going to be free. If you don't believe me, go to college. Okay, there are no free colleges out there. So we were taught to go to school, make good grades, and get a good job. We already know the whole thing. And they said, hey, if you go to school and make good grades and in high school, you go on to college and make some more good grades, you're going to get a good job. Once again, in my teens, I was told to figure it out. I should be trying to figure it out. I didn't listen in my teens. I didn't listen in my 20s. In my 30s and my early 40s, I was financial. And I didn't understand then why I was going to work. You go to work because you have to take care of yourself. And in a country like this, many of us are not taught how to take care of ourselves other than trading time for money. Trading time for money, hours for dollars. So we have to meet some objectives, keeping a roof over our head, food on our table, clothes on our back, transportation to go back and forth to the job that we got. That is our current lifestyle. So that's one of the reasons why we go to work. That's one of our objectives. We need to meet that objective, and we want to meet it today with some type of success. Okay, we want to meet that objective with some type of success. Ultimately, the second objective is we have to make enough money in our working years while we're younger. We have to make enough money while we're younger. Excuse me, in order to one day retire. I mean, let's be honest. Who do you know wants to work until they die? I don't know anybody who wants to work until they die. There's nothing wrong with being active, but people are not out there working just because they want to. There's a handful of them out there that's doing it. But for the majority of people, they're working because they have to. They have no choice in their mind. They have no choice. They have no choice and they don't know any other option. And listen, I'm not talking about not going to work. That sounds crazy. Because the Bible says a man that does not work should not eat. What I'm talking about is having options. And most people don't understand that they have options. So the two objectives that we are faced with in our lives, the two objectives that we face with is making enough money today to pay for our today expenses. Like I said, food, clothes, shelter. Um, those are the things that we are going to work for today. But ultimately, we're going to work so we can one day retire because we have to make enough money while we're able to work. And we have to be able to put that money to work for us so that when we can no longer work, we have money to take care of ourselves. Now, what am I talking about? The current objective, like I said, current lifestyle. You have things that you like to do. You have things that you want to do. Maybe you have a family. Maybe you have children. You have a spouse. Whatever the case may be. You may want to go on vacation. You may want to buy your spouse or your kids a gift. Maybe you want to make sure that they're involved in after school activities, or maybe you just want to see them, be a little bit more. It's money. It's not going to be free. So how are you going to get that money? You're going to get a job. Makes sense, right? You're going to go get a job. But here's the thing. When you get that job comes with responsibility. And in those responsibilities, we have to learn how to take care of our money, which leads us to the reason why people are not meeting their second objective. Now, people are not doing bad keeping up with today. I mean, if you got a job, you're already part of the way there. If you have a way to make money, you're already part of the way there. I'm going to pause. If you guys are just joining us, if you're just coming in, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you don't mind, like the video. Make sure you share the video. Also, if you are not following us or subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find it in our description, in the link in the bio. I'm broadcasting this video to our YouTube channel right now, so you'll be able to see this at a later date. And hopefully it makes sense to you. Now, I'm not here to try to solve all your problems or your issues or your concerns. I'm here to address them because we do what we are taught. We do what we know. Our brain is a huge muscle, and that muscle memory takes us back to what we were taught. And if we were taught to go to work and that's all we know how to do as far as making money and surviving, that's not our fault. But we've been making financial decisions without the information that we didn't know. I know that sounds crazy, but many of us make financial decisions with information that we don't know and information that we don't understand. So if you've been making decisions with your finances based off of the information that you don't know and based off the information that you don't understand, how is it that you believe that you're making the best financial decisions? See, some of us are still trying to figure it out. Once again, if you just jumped on, when I was a teen, I was told that I had to figure it out. What do I mean? Hey, what do you want to do with yourself? Man, I'm a teenager. I don't know. I want to have fun. Wasn't explained to me. So when I became an adult, a young adult in my 20s, I didn't understand. So I was having fun and I was trying to figure it out. And it went on to my 30s, still trying to figure it out. And I didn't figure it out until my 40s that It's something that I've been missing. I've been missing something the whole time. Between all the information and all the conversation about going to school and making good grades and getting a good job, nobody really took me to the side and sat me down and said, "Hey, you know what? Now, when you get this good job here, you need to make sure you understand how to take care of your home." But shouldn't that have been a conversation before I got the good job? Shouldn't that have been a seed that was planted before I got that good job? See, I think we're working this information and education thing backwards. When I was a small child, I can remember being taught different things. And as I grew up, I was able to fall back on some of those teachings and some of those things, some of those things I would share with me as a child. That was embedded in me. Those were principles that was embedded in me, but there was no financial principles embedded in me. So as an adult, I had nothing to fall back on. I mean, I guess I'm the only one that went through that, and I'm sure that there's nobody else out there who's experienced that. I wanna see if I can put this in an analogy. See if I can try to make this simple. If you've ever planted anything, a flower, tree, if you ever drop a seed in the ground to be planted, you didn't plant that seed on top of the ground. Dug a hole, hopefully you cultivated the land, hopefully you conditioned the soil, hopefully you did that, but you opened the earth up and you put that seed inside the dirt, and then you covered that dirt up, and then you came back and you watered that. That's what we've been taught, and that's the way we've been taught our entire lives. From a little kid, I was opened up, and seeds have been planted, but there was some nourishment that was not in that teaching. There was some nourishment that was not in that education, was not taught financial education. No, I was taught to go to school, and I was taught that if I wanted to learn, I would learn in school. I wasn't taught about non-traditional education. I learned about things outside of that while I was growing up, and it goes it's the same with having common sense, street knowledge, book knowledge. So some people are still trying to figure it out. And I just wanna ask you guys a question out there if you're listening. If you're still trying to figure it out, what resource are you using to try to figure it out? And what makes you think, and this is gonna hit somebody really hard right now. I'm not here to step on any toes. But if you have been taught misinformation or missing information, as we shared, that's been missing, right? If you have been taught the wrong things or incorrect things, and you've been formulating your answers based off of what you've been taught, the stuff that's missing, how is it that we think that we're going to figure it out on our own? I'm trying to figure that part out. If we've been taught incorrectly throughout all this time, how is it that we feel like we're gonna be able to figure it out by ourselves? How can we possibly, um, understand everything that's being thrown at us as adults? We wanna be that smart person that makes that smart decision, and I think that's why people are trying to figure it out on their own, by themselves. I think people are trying to figure it out by themselves because they don't want people to know that they don't know. We're talking about meeting our 2 objectives, your current lifestyle and your future lifestyle. Are you meeting those 2 objectives? Do you have the tools in your toolkit? This is your toolkit. Do you have the tools in your toolkit to successfully meet those 2 objectives? Do you know what those 2 objectives are? Your current lifestyle, your current living conditions, what you like to do, what you want to do, what you need to do. Keeping the lights on, keeping a roof over your head, keeping food in your refrigerator or in your cupboard. That current situation, currently? Are you do you feel like you're meeting your current objective? And if you don't feel like you're meeting your current objective, what are you prepared to do to meet it? How can we honestly say that we're making the best decisions? We're making uninformed and misinformed decisions because we fear now that we have not been taught. We fear we have not been taught what we need to know, and now we're active adults, and now we're afraid to ask. Can you look at a video from social media and make a decision based off of what you should be doing with your finances? I just have to ask that question because that's what a lot of people are doing. Even as you look at this video, even as you listen to this video, should I go left or should I go right? Should I go straight? Which way should I go? I'm confused. I'm lost. There's been a lot of information that we have not learned as children. And many of us, unfortunately, are still living in that past. How do I know? I know that people are still living in that past because people are saying, well, nobody told me that. People should share that. Nobody said this to me. Well, you know what? As a child, if you don't learn or if you're not made aware of something, it's not your fault. But as a grown adult, if you still don't know, it's your responsibility. It's our responsibility to learn. And because we are living in the past, many of us are living in the past as far as nobody told me. We're living in the nobody told me era. We're living in the nobody told me era and somebody should have told me era instead of saying, hey, I did not know, but I'm ready to learn. Listen, I know we're trying to take care of our current lifestyle. I know we're trying to meet our current objective. I know we're going to work and I know we're consumed with somebody else's job. I know we're consumed. We don't look at it like that, but we're consumed with building somebody else's lifestyle. There's lots of memes on social media, but the one that sticks out to me the most is the meme where the boss is saying, hey, do you like my new car? Something to that effect. Do you like my new car? It's a new sports car. And the employee says, yes, I love it. This is a nice car. And he says, hey, you know what? Well, if you work real hard and you bring these numbers in, I can get a new one next year. We're working today to provide a lifestyle for somebody else. So isn't it our job? Shouldn't it be our job to learn how to provide that lifestyle for ourselves? I'm not saying don't go to work. That would be foolish. And I think it would be foolish for anybody to tell you not to go to work. What I'm saying is we should understand how to leverage our jobs. The jobs that we're currently working, the one that's putting food on our table, we should learn how to leverage those jobs so we can live a better current lifestyle. So we can meet our objectives better, our current objectives better. So now, current objective, if you guys are just jumping on, are you meeting your two financial objectives? Current objective, our current lifestyle, food on your table, clothes on your back, a roof over your head. Unless we're going to be on the streets, we got to make some money. And the only way many of us know how to make money is to go to work. Nothing wrong with that. The next objective is our future lifestyle. Are we meeting that objective? Are we meeting our future lifestyle objective? Are we currently investing our money today so it can grow exponentially? Exponentially, that's the word, right? Is our money multiplying? Exponents. Is our money multiplying? Do we have our money in a financial vehicle that's moving faster than inflation? Or do we have our money on the bus line? You know what the bus line is? The bus line is the bank, because it makes so many stops. The bus line moves slow. Do we have our money in a vehicle, a financial vehicle that is moving to outpace inflation, to be ahead and get in front of our inflation? Or are we putting our money in a bank because that's what we were taught to do? Are we saving, or are we investing for the future? Whether that investment is property, whether it's the stock market. I'm not here to give financial advice. Whether it's some type of retirement plan, my question to you is our money outpacing inflation? Is inflation pushing our money, or is our money chasing inflation? I want you just to imagine inflation on a track, right? On a relay. A 400-meter relay. That's one lap around the track. Those guys are moving. Those girls are moving. They are moving fast. And when they get ready to go, when they get ready to start, they're in the blocks. And you hear the starter, pow, and it goes off. They're gone. That's inflation. But because we have delayed financial education reactions, we find ourselves chasing inflation. Therefore, we're having problems meeting our future objectives. Our future objective: to make enough money today during our working years so that we are going to be able to one day retire. That's a conversation. 46% of Americans in this country don't have any money in their retirement account. About 26 or so percent of Americans, 26 to 29% of Americans have less than $100,000 in their retirement account. And only 9% of them have $500,000 or more in their retirement account. Let me ask you guys a question. Seriously, and this is for me as well. When are you going to retire? When I ask that question of people, they say, I don't have enough time to retire. I don't have enough time at my job to retire. If you're just jumping on, we're talking about meeting our two financial objectives. We talked about our current one, which is keeping the lights on, roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your stomach. That's your current objective. But now we're talking about the future objective. When will you retire? Well, I don't have enough time to retire. The government says that I can retire at this age. You can retire whenever you have enough money working for you. If you have enough money working for you, you can retire. That's the language. That's the conversation that's being fed to us. We don't have enough time to retire. And many of us don't have enough time at that job to retire. However, we also don't have enough money working for us right now to retire. And because we've been fed that same old conversation about what the Social Security Administration says, we associate retirement with an age instead of with a wage. Therefore, we don't meet our future objective. See, we have a span. Social Security Administration says, and this government, this is politics, y'all. It says that we have a standard of time where we should work. Our working years are ages 25 to 45, or 25 to 65. I'm sorry. I don't know where I got that from. I was thinking 40 years, 25 to 65. And that was the age that Social Security says that we retire. So where did they get 25 from? Because a lot of people started working when they were 18. I started working when I was 15. But that retirement age, it goes with this. They figure, hey, once they condition you from preschool to kindergarten to elementary to junior high to high school, once they condition you that long, it's going to be in your mind that you have to go to college. You're going to have to go to college. Your mind is thinking that the only way that I can live a better life is if I get a college degree. So they've conditioned us ultimately from our mother's womb to go to school, make good grades, and get a good job. So they've also conditioned us that the working age, the considerable working age, to be a contributing factor to this country, to be a good American, is to be working from 25 to 65. If you want to contribute to this country, you have to do these things, and then we'll reward you with some social insecurity. So from ages 25 to 65, that's our working years. What have we built between ages 25 to 65 other than all of the businesses that we've worked for? What have we built? Have we built some wealth for ourselves? Have we built some type of retirement package for ourselves? Did we buy some property? I'm not talking about a house. Don't get it twisted. It's great to have somewhere to live. But do we have properties that we own? Or do we have vehicles that we bought over the years? Do we have clothes and shoes? What do we have to show for the 40 years that we've worked? That's that 40, 40, 40 lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that if we understand that we have to learn how to leverage that time. So now we worked from 25 to 45 to 40. I keep saying 45. We worked from 25 to 65. Those working years. And now the Social Security Administration says, now I'm going to reward you with the money that I forcibly took out of your paycheck. And I'm going to give it back to you. And then you find out that they ain't enough money and you got to go back to work. Or you found out that the company that you were investing in, or that the retirement, individual retirement arrangement that you were investing in was not outpacing inflation. You find out that your investments and your lack of financial education did not serve you well. So at age 65, not only can you not collect Social Security, social insecurity, but you have to go back to work. You have a choice. You can collect those couple of $100 a month, or you can go back to work or continue to work. Someone says, isn't Social Security going to cease to be a thing and become obsolete? It's already ceased. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the current events, the current events in the country and the previous events in the country. But how do you think that all these wars have been funded? Those wars have been funded with your future. The wars have been funded with our children's futures. That fund, that slush fund, that Social Security fund, is in the negative. And the government can't give you what they don't have. They can print more money, but they can't give you what they don't have. So short answer, yes. Either they're going to continue to print money to give people what they're supposed to have, or they're going to just not give it to them. Here's the thing. Are you meeting your future objective? Are you positioning yourself right now to create some passive income, some residual income? And if you're not, it's not too late. But if you're not thinking about it, it's never going to happen. So you have a choice. You have options. And if you're watching me from YouTube right now, you have a couple of options. You can look in the description. You can click on the link and you can check out some of the information that we have there. If you want to make an appointment, you can do that. We can have a short conversation. But there's one of 5 or 6 things that we all desire in this country, in this world, in this life, to live a better life. And we have to be able to understand how to make that happen while we're living. Somebody's got to carry the torch. Somebody has to be the person or the persons to share this information and educate our youth. Because see, wealthy people have figured it out. Wealthy people figured it out. While we, the commoners, so to say, while the working class is still trying to figure it out. I just wonder how many people have seen some of the information that I've shared and they're trying to figure it out. What is there to figure out? I want you to take a look right now at how much money you're currently bringing home, how much money you're currently making. And if you're happy with that, then there's nothing to figure out. For you, this is merely education. There's nothing to figure out. But for those of you who are looking at what you're bringing home versus what they said that you would make, for those of you who are looking at how much debt that you have created trying to live a better life, for those of you who are looking at how bad your credit score has dropped because of the money that you're bringing home, because of the debt that you created, for those of you who are looking at, man, I don't have a pot to or a window to throw it out of. For those of you who are looking at, man, I don't see myself ever being able to retire. For those of you who are saying, hey, you know what? I don't have any investments. I don't have any assets. All I have is a job. And if they get mad at me tomorrow, I don't have that. For those of you who are thinking like that, what is there to think about? What is there to figure out? You need to make a change. Because if you continue to do the same things over and over again, you're going to continue to get the same results. And if you're okay with that, then I believe everyone else is going to be okay with that as well, especially the people who you're working for. Remember, education is subject specific. And if you did not learn when you were younger, it's not your fault. But if you continue not to know as an adult, you must ask yourself, at what point are we going to accept responsibility for what we don't know? So as I end this broadcast here on YouTube, I want you guys to remember you have a voice and you have a choice. This is Eric coming out of Columbia, South Carolina. I'm your financial strategist. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. There's a link at the very bottom of this broadcast. You can see all of our social media platforms. And if you want to get started improving your personal finances, if you want to get on the right road to financial freedom, make sure you contact me. I'll see you at the top because there's too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.